Welcome. Let's explore how we are actually holding reality to be. It's not a very frequent exploration because it's simply a belief that isn't even seen to be a belief. It's just the way it is the belief. So we could start even with scientific beliefs that are held to be a certain way. Let's look at them first. The Big Bang. Nobody's been there. There's no physical evidence. It's a theory, the origin of life. Any story of how anything began is a story. Human memory. It's also known that whenever you call up some memory, it gets distorted a bit. The idea that the brain produces consciousness, well, from an infinite perspective, that that is very far from reality. The notion that time flows linearly, that's an experiential assumption. And lastly, well, it's not lastly, but in my talk here, the belief that matter is solid. It's an everyday perception. It's what we were taught because we learned language as toddlers and we were believing that the object is solid and that what it is what it is. Like, oh, that's a table. So, table is believed to be objective, it's believed to be solid, and it's believed to be an actual table. Whereas, you know, if we were looking at a table in France, we wouldn't be saying table, we would be saying something else. And I don't even know what the French word would be. It would be a different sound. In every language, it would be a different sound. And then if you didn't know what you were looking at when you were looking in an electron microscope, you wouldn't know that it was a table. You'd have no idea. So none of these ideas are actual. I mean, they're ideas, but they're not actuality. They are held beliefs, and they're worthy of investigation because the thing is, we hold these ideas, we create this sense of there's a separate me dealing with an objective world out there. And then I'm reacting to my interpretations about what I perceive is happening. And that is our life. Look at the suffering that is created, not just once a day, but, you know, uh, potentially moment to moment when I'm this separate character here perceiving a separate world out there, what I call the content of experience instead of experiencing itself, and then making interpretations about it, liking it, disliking it, worrying about it, wanting it to be different. I mean, this is how reality is perceived, and it's not recognized. And so that's what the invitation is to be investigated. I'm recalling a passage in Opening to the Mystery where I was at a retreat with Peter, and after, I mean, the entire conversation that day with him was just, obviously remarkable because it just, breaks through all of these ideas that I've held that anybody would hold. And I was walking through the neighborhood, uh, really bringing my attention to direct experience, you know, the dimensions of experience instead of the habit of labeling, because, there's this habit of labeling that I hadn't even recognized initially. So, just this shift in attention, this shift in perception. Uh, I took that walk and then I went back to the hotel. There was a lovely table by a palm tree. And, I pulled out my journal and I was pondering, what Peter was talking about at the retreat earlier in the afternoon. And I was trying to grasp with my mind, with thought, how is this tree me? Because in my, you know, uh, little small understanding, which was, you know, barely existent, I just couldn't grasp, if there's no separation, how is the tree me? And, I just sat and pondered it. Of course, I was thinking from an objectified view without even recognizing it. And it wasn't until later I was in bed and I was probably reading, uh, you know, John Wheeler, something, you know, and just after having a full day of just, you know, an amazingly incredible shift in perspective, just, listening to Peter's uh, descriptions of reality in such an unfathomable way, uh, suddenly it just came as a flash that I was holding the tree and me as separate objects, wondering how is the tree me? Those are two separate objects. And in that moment of a flash, it was like it's all one field of experiencing. And there is no me as the subject and the tree as the object. It's all one field of experiencing. And so this can be felt as we rest more with the dimensions of experience. And it's a loosening of ideas and thoughts about anything, just loosening. Maybe we don't realize how often thought is just running nonstop. So this is the invitation, just breathing, just being here in this moment, recognizing this entirety is one field of experience without separation. I'm happy to have you with me. I'd love to hear your questions and pondering, and I thank you very much.